Kris Boyd, his laugh suggests that Rangers should do a guard of honour for Celtic. Welcome back to Fog Football. And we're here, alright, we're here. Loud and living colour. It's the first European week without a Scottish team involved. So the news, there's not a lot of it floating about, but let's just dive into this guard of honour debate, right? So, you know, Celtic fans wouldn't do it for Rangers, and Rangers fans wouldn't do it for Celtic. Boardrooms, players, it's never, ever, ever going to happen, right? Never, ever. So it shouldn't happen. To me, it's tin pot. To me, it is absolutely tin pot. Guard of honours in here. Even if it was another team that won the league, I wouldn't want Rangers to whip at the guard of honour. I wouldn't. I genuinely mean that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. Now, here, I wasn't alive in the 80s, but when Dundee United and Aberdeen won titles, well, no, Dundee United won one, Aberdeen won three, but it was guard of honours whipped it from if they won the league and then the next game was against Rangers or Celtic, was it whipped out then? I'm genuinely intrigued to know. I mean, I could find it in like a 3-second Google search, but where's the fun in that when you've got a great audience? You've got a great audience watching, but it's never going to happen, man. It should never happen. You know what I mean? It would be one final almighty kick in the balls here, and in terms of this Rangers season, man. It would be couldn't even begin to comprehend how pish it would be. You know what I mean? And let alone, like, we're not talking about, oh, it's Rangers at Parkhead, which some people would argue, well, maybe that would make it. It would make it a wee bit less as bad, but I would never want it happening anyway. You know what I mean? The game's at Ibrox, folks. I mean, there's 1,020 reasons why I wouldn't want it happening, but that's the big one. You know what I mean? To Ibrox, and we should never be doing it for any club, regardless of the stadium, but no, never happening, man. I think, you know what, we could put it up for a poll, but there's no point us wording it in the poll, should Rangers do a guard of honour for Celtic? Because then, of course, you know, half this channel, maybe a wee bit more than half this channel, are going to be like, aye, of course they should. When the reality is, you know, there's a smart way of wording it. And I think the smart way of wording it would to be along the lines of should the teams in the Scottish Premiership do a guard of honour for the champions? And then we'll see how it goes. And that's the correct way of doing it. But Kris Boyd, he's laughed it off, right? I've got a banging headache. Out for a dinner yesterday, had a big massive slice of cookie dough pie, and it's took me at the game. I don't know what's happened, man. The sugars went to my skull. So, and it's a warm day, so hopefully it gets sweated out. But this is what he told Sky Sports. There won't be any guard of honour. I think Scotland's a pretty unique place. Respect for both teams went out the window a few years ago. Celtic can't refer to it as the old firm, and in terms of the respect that used to be in the boardrooms, I don't think it's there anymore. So I can't imagine Rangers players clapping Celtic players onto the pitch on Sunday. There still should be respect there for both clubs, but there's so many problems from the past now that there's absolutely no chance of a guard of honour on Sunday. But I'm looking forward to the game. It's a great spectacle for Scottish football, and there will be some Celtic fans back in the ground. We saw what happened the last time at Celtic Park with the fans. It's great to see. End of quote. So, yeah. I mean, is Kris Boyd, is he offering a trade? Is he like, here, if Celtic say Old Firm, we'll give a guard of honour? I mean, honestly, I don't give two shits what Celtic fans say. To be brutally honest, they can say Old Firm, they don't have to. I mean, they should, but I mean, I'm not going to agree about it. I mean, if Rangers one day eventually get back to winning league titles and trebles and all that great stuff, I don't give a two shits what Celtic cause. You know what I mean? don't give two shits, and it shouldn't really matter vice versa. But again, I get it, Kris, it is a lack of respect, but lack of respect, I mean, it's the most fierce derby going, folks. There should be a lack of respect. I mean, there could be some form of like middle ground, but that's never going to happen. Never going to happen. And I think another key thing about, you know, respect is like, it's the fact that, I mean, if the boardrooms don't respect each other, right, how are the fans expected to respect each other? You know what I mean? It just doesn't really work like that. And I think Boyd's right, like in the past when they respect each other, there can be like a middle ground. And if the higher ups don't, then it's not going to happen, you know what I mean? It's absolutely not going to happen. But what else did Kris Boyd say here? He goes, I don't think it will ever get back to what it was. Hopefully for Scottish football, Celtic will want to come to Ibrox and show why they are champions and put on a performance. Barry Ferrand's already spoken about it. Rangers are very disappointed at the weekend, and there's a lot of players fighting for their futures because there will be changes in the summer. Well, there will be. But to wrap up, man, it should be a good game, and you know, yeah, the gap's like what, 20,000 points, haha. But Rangers can make it 3 wins in a row, and make no mistake about it, that's unacceptable for Brendan Rodgers. It is. I mean, Barry gets labelled all these terms: novice, right? Celtic Hearts manager, Clyde manager, League 1, League 2 level. I mean, I know he didn't win the first time, but if he beats Brendan Rodgers twice in a row, and Rangers do it 3 times in a row, despite how good Celtic's season is, and in the grand scheme of things, it won't really matter. You know, you still don't want to lose that many times to your rivals. I know I wouldn't. I mean, I'd much rather flip the positions, like of a potential treble and losing 3 times in the league, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, my friends. Anyway, that's where we'll leave it. It should be a good game, and it may feel like some people may be like depressed about it, but like the last one, you feel down, and then as soon as the build up to the match starts, you're in. The fire's going, the blood's going.